What does it really mean to leave a marriage? Is it courage? Or simply choosing to survive one more day? What happens when the people I loved the most became the ones who hurt me the deepest? And when I finally walked away, not to win, not to prove anything, but just to breathe again, did life punish me, or did it quietly begin to heal me? 2 years ago, I spoke for the first time about my life after divorce, when my emotions were still suspended between loss and relief, between sorrow and an unfamiliar sense of peace. I once believed marriage was a safe world, built on love, care, and shared endurance, a place where two people would walk through hardship together. But reality arrived softly and swept away more than my dreams. It took with it my trust, my certainty, and the innocence I carried from my younger years. Leaving that marriage, I carried an invisible wound, shaped by silence, fear, and disappointment. During pregnancy, my body endured repeated moments of distress, times when hope felt fragile and exhaustion blurred into despair. Yet I told no one, not because the pain was unreal, but because of something I later understood as honor. For the sake of appearances, I stayed quiet. I convinced myself that love could change people, that having a child would make everything different. For honor, I refused to admit I had chosen the wrong person. For honor, I held on to illusion and rejected reality. And for honor, I stayed far longer than I should have. When my baby was 4 months old, I held him close on a late bus ride, my eyes fixed on the darkened window. I turned off my phone and shut out every harsh voice that drained my strength. That night, I left. At 4 months old, my child and I fled to a new place. We met kind people, strangers who helped without questions. I still remember a small room above a cafe, a temporary shelter, where survival quietly continued. At 9 months, our location was discovered, and we moved again. At 17 months, another forced departure arrived. There were days when exhaustion nearly broke me, days when judgment and whispers weighed heavily. But time, slow and stubborn, began to steady our steps. By the time my son turned 3, life softened. Still rented, still uncertain, but finally livable. Even now, I admit I struggle. My son grows too fast, understands too much, while I, carrying the weight of being both mother and father, sometimes feel I am not gentle enough, not slow enough. There are nights when fatigue and loneliness fill the silence, and the role of two parents in one body feels unbearably heavy. I once believed adults exist to teach children how to live, but life surprised me. It was my child who handed me the key to love. Through him, I learned patience again, learned how to share, learned how to truly understand another human being. Now 4 years old, my son carries a calm beyond his age. When I lose my temper, he slowly wraps his arms around me. Sometimes he says softly, "My family is you and me. Having you is enough." Moments like these, quiet and sincere, feel like repayment for every storm we have weathered together. Being a single mother is not glorious. It is not a badge of honor or something to show off. It is simply a correction, a decision to clean my hands instead of pretending they were never dirty. Being a single mother is not a source of pride. It is simply another path, one that is kinder to my child and gentler to myself. The day I left, I held one thought. I must be okay, so my child can be okay. He must grow in love. He must never become a reflection of pain. Nearly 5 years have passed. The wounds from my past have stepped aside, not erased, but no longer in control. Ahead lies a future that feels wider, quieter, and more open. Happiness, I have learned, arrives when I am content with what I hold. Being a single mother is not something to boast about. But being a happy single mother, is that not a joy worth sharing? Thank you for listening to my story. If you've walked a similar path, know that you are not alone. Please subscribe for more stories about finding light after the storm.